Welcome to the OK, Let's Learn podcast. This is a podcast where we dive into books and stories with our OK Book Club, and we dive into people and tons of different topics. My name is Kevin O'Keefe. So today, let's learn and listen to, yes, another Greek myth. There's tons of them. And this one in particular can teach us a valuable lesson, especially as it pertains to children and their parents. And this one, father and son. This is Daedalus and Icarus. Long ago, in ancient Greece, there lived a man named Daedalus. Daedalus was known as the cleverest inventor and builder in the world. He could design anything. Tools, buildings, machines, and his ideas always worked. People came from far away to ask for his help. Daedalus lived on the island of Crete, and Crete was ruled by the powerful King Minos. Daedalus had helped the king many times, including designing the great labyrinth, the twisting maze that no one could escape. And Daedalus, you see, he had a secret wish. He wanted to return home to Athens with his young son Icarus. But King Minos, he didn't want any part of this. He didn't want Daedalus to leave. Not only did he fear that he might share his clever ideas with others, especially the rival Athens, but also he remembered that Daedalus had helped Theseus defeat the Minotaur, and he had escaped with his own daughter, Princess Ariadne. You see, the king had no proof that Daedalus had helped them, but he assumed it was Daedalus because who really was smart enough to help Theseus, number one, to defeat the Minotaur, but number two, to get out of that labyrinth? Daedalus was the only smart one that could have done it, and so King Minos said out loud, "Daedalus, you helped them escape. Now I will lock you up. And since there were two of you responsible, yourself and my daughter, there will be two of you that will be imprisoned. Not only you, but your son as well, Icarus." They were both locked inside a tall stone tower. The tower had no doors at the ground level. It had no bridges. Guards watched day and night. Ships searched so no one could escape by sea. Daedalus studied the tower carefully while he was being locked up. There are no doors. There are no ships. But the sky is still free. Every day, Daedalus watched birds fly past the tower window. He studied how their wings moved, and he noticed how their feathers were layered and how birds used the air to stay afloat. And an idea began to form. You see, as the guards twice a day came and gave both of them food, he sent a message one day down to King Minos. "King, if we must live our lives out in this tower, please at least give us some books to read and candles so we can read in the dark." King Minos said, no problem. He agreed to that. But he should have known, because Daedalus was up to something. Months and months went by. Daedalus and Icarus started putting breadcrumbs on the windowsill. After a while, the birds ended up coming and taking them, and as they jumped onto the windowsill, the father and son began to pluck their feathers from their wings, not to hurt them, but what to do to keep them from flying. They hid the feathers under their beds, and they used the wax from some of the candles to hold the feathers in place. Slowly, carefully, Daedalus and Icarus by his side built 2 pairs of wings. When they were finished, they almost looked real. Daedalus called Icarus over to him. "Son, these wings will help us escape, but you must listen to me carefully." Daedalus fastened the wings onto Icarus's arms. "Son, do not fly too low. The sea's damp air will weight the wings down. And don't do the opposite. Don't fly too high. The sun's heat will melt the wax." Icarus nodded. "Yes, my father, I understand." At dawn, Daedalus put on his own wings. He stepped to the edge of the tower, spread his arm, and leaped into the air. He was flying. The wings worked. Icarus soon followed. They both soared into the sky. The wind rushed past them. Everything was going according to the plan. You see, the plan was to escape this tower, and they would land at the harbor below, get rid of the wings, sail away in one of the boats that was anchored there. And by the time King Minos knew they were gone, they would be out of Crete forever. As both of them were flying and feeling great, they both looked down below. There were dangerous rocks and crashing waves. They slowly descended, and they were on their way. Freedom was in their reach, but in that moment, Icarus started laughing with joy. "I'm flying!" At first, he was still close to his father, but the higher they flew, the more excited he became, and the world just looked tiny below. They were descending, but he said no. He was in the moment, enjoying it, and the sun was shining brightly above them. He forgot the warning. He started flying higher and higher, and Daedalus called out to his son, "Icarus, Icarus, fly lower." But his son was too thrilled, too happy, too overjoyed, not thinking, and he didn't listen. The sun grew hot, the wax began to soften, one feather at a time drifted loose, then another and another. Icarus looked at his wings in fear. They began to fall apart. "Icarus!" Daedalus cried. It was too late. The wings broke. Icarus fell from the sky into the sea below. Daedalus circled and cried out helplessly, calling his son's name. It was no use. Daedalus ended up landing on the shore all alone. With a heavy heart, Daedalus continued on to safety, carrying sorrow with him wherever he went. From that day on, people remembered the story of Daedalus and Icarus. Friends, this story reminds us that listening is important. Advice matters, especially when it comes from people who love you like your parents. It teaches us that excitement and the thrill of the moment can lead us to unintended consequences. It could lead us to forgetting important rules, important memories, and important responsibilities. Great ideas only work when they're used with care and self-control. They did everything right, just like Theseus had done. But again, listening matters and mistakes can happen. So thanks for joining me again on this journey with another great Greek myth. So when you see something, when you can anticipate something, whether you're a parent, whether you're a child, just remember Icarus and Daedalus Don't fly too close to the sun. Just be careful, everyone out there. So, to wrap up our podcast with another wonderful little review, this one is entitled The Best Teacher Ever from Akash. 10 out of 10 narrator. That's from MLS 1010101 on Apple Podcast. Thanks again, friends. That's another wrap, like I said, on another Greek myth. Until next time, have fun and keep learning.